Hello folks, welcome back to Banta Music. We are going to go over Salute to Her Majesty. What I've done here is I have highlighted some bars, and the ones that are highlighted yellow are the ending phrases. Phrases being 2 bars, if you're not familiar with that. With the orange ones that I have highlighted, those are the beginning phrases of the parts. The only thing that I will point out is that sometimes with the first phrase, it'll be slightly different than the third phrase on the next line. Because, for example, as you can see in the fourth part, if you look at the first bar here on the second to last line, it goes up here down to an E, and then when you go down to the next line right below that, the first bar is the same, but the second bar is not. You see that? It stays on a high A instead of going on an E doubling. So the first bar goes like this. So you notice that on the C after the B in the first bar, you got a D grace note. Okay, it's not a D doubling, a D grace note. So it's on the D line. So from the B, you're going up to a C with a D grace note. I'm just making it a little bit wider so you can see. Anyway, we speed that up to normal rate. So that is what we're doing after the B. And the rest of it is pretty straightforward, except for the F grip in the second bar. So that is this. And do the best you can to get the from the low G back up to the F smoothly. If you don't, just practice it a few times. It'll come with you. So we're going to play the first bar again, now that we've gone over the main stuff. And if you have a little bit of trouble doing Grace or Tor Lewis on different notes, then don't worry about that. Tor Lewis come with practice, and I have a Tor Lewis video on my channel, and if I don't, I'll make one. So first bar again. And then second bar. Again, second bar. Okay, and then we move on to the next phrase after that, one of the ones that I didn't highlight. And this one is going to start on the E, go down to a C, next and go down to a B with an E grace note on it, then go down to a low A with a G grace note, up to a 16th note B, and up to a C with grip. So I'll play that for you, just that bar. I'll do one more time. So if I play this regular speed for that bar, I'll play just a little bit slower. So the one grace note that you got to be a little bit more careful with is the E going from the C down to the B. E grace notes quite often are not written going down to notes. They're written more going up to notes. So that from the C down to the B is like this. If I play regular speed. So let's play that bar on its own. Okay? We'll play it 2 more times so you can play it at that speed. One more time. So this tune, when you play it, actually has a really good beat and musicality to it. So it's quite a good tune. Next, we move on to the fourth bar, and that is the E with the G grace note on it, up to the F, down to the E with the G grace note, then down to a C doubling, and down to a B with a followed by a low G grace note back up to low A after you play the very quick low G. So that is this. Again. So this one's not too complicated, so let's just break it down into the first, break the bar down into two parts. The E, the F, and the E first. Again. And then go on to the next half of the bar with the C doubling, the B, and the low A. And then we will combine those two parts and play the full bar. Again. So that is the first line, so well done. And if you look at the next two bars, they are the same as the two bars right above those. So we'll skip those two for time's sake, and we'll go on to the yellow highlighted ending phrase, two bars, and we'll play those. So the first half of the seventh bar, as it would be, because there's eight bars in a part. The seventh bar, the first half is this. So it's a G grace note on a low A, followed by a B, then with a grip up to C. Okay, we'll play that. Remember to hold that low A a little bit longer than you typically would, as a lot of people will tend to cut the first, they'll tend to make the first note of the bar just a little bit too short, so hold it out just a little bit more. If you think you're holding it a little too long, you're probably holding it just right. So try to make that be as short as you can. I made it just a little bit shorter. And then do the next three notes, which is the F on the G grace note, and then E and C. So that's this. Again. Now, when the first time I played this tune, I actually was very tempted to put a C or a G grace note on that C. So I encourage you to play the music as it's written, except for those other parts at the very beginning of the video where I pointed out that you just need to be careful because the bars weren't exactly the same as the orange highlighted bars right above them, aka the fourth part. So let's go on to the next bar, and then we'll play this entire two-bar phrase. So this is the bar that probably is going to be the most challenging for many of you, because it's a cut B with a G grace note on it, followed by a D grace note up to C, an E grace note down to low A, and then a grip up to B. So not a lot in that bar, but technically demanding. So let's break this bar down into the first three notes. So actually, you know what? Scratch that. We're gonna cut this bar down to two first notes, because those are the ones that typically our fingers don't like, because it's the D grace note up to the C, and bottom hand ones can be a little bit tricky. So G grace note on the B, and then the D grace note up to C. I'll play that from B up to C. And because the first B is a 16th note, it's a cut note, you got to play the G grace note on it and then go up to the C quite quickly. And that's where it gets a little bit more tricky. So if you can't get it to sound great right away, don't worry about it. You're not worrying about sound. You're focusing on execution and technicality right now, okay? Technical skills. Don't worry about it making it sound beautiful. Okay, we're not looking for perfection here. So from the B up to the C, I'll play it first and then play along afterwards. And play with me. Again. Okay, and then let's go down to the low A with the E grace note from the C. Again. One more time. Okay, and then we're going to go up to the B with the grip. Again. So now that we've played the ending phrase, let's play it all together now. So 2 bars together. So let's go. Let's play it again in case any of you missed anything. And if you need to slow that down at all or speed it up, do what's comfortable for you. But I'm guessing that most of you will need to slow it down just a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. Do what you need to do. So that is the first part. Now in the second part, you notice that the first intro bar, it has the high A down to the high G. So the high A needs to be held and the high G needs to be cut down to the half doubling F. After that is the B with a low G tap on it. So that first B needs to be very quick. Then you need to play the G grace note on the B and a cut high A next with the low G to end that bar. Or high G, sorry. Don't get your low G's and your high G's mixed up, people. So let's play the first bar from the intro bar. I'll play it first here. I'll play it one more time. Now, am I holding some of these notes just a little bit longer than I should? Yes, I am. But it's more to show how everything works. Let's start from that the first half of that bar on the half note B. So basically you're playing a G grace note on an F. I don't know, I couldn't say that there. And if you can't get those 2 bottom fingers to go nice and smoothly up and down, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. That alone can be a pain in the butt. So just do what you can, and that might be something you have to work on if that applies to you. So from the half doubling F again. And then onto the G grace note F and the high A. Okay, so let's do it from the intro bar with the high A and the high G into the first bar. And again. Let's play that first bar again. And then let's go into the next bar with a half doubling F again, followed by the E, G grace note up to F, the high A, F, and a G grace note down to E. Let's do that again. So that bar isn't as difficult as the preceding bar. So that's why we're not going to spend as much time on that one. If you need to, that's fine. You can just pause this. So let's play the two bars together from the very beginning high A. So that's the first phrase of the second part. And then onto the next phrase, which starts on a D or C doubling B down to a low A with a low G grace note, and a low A with a G grace note, then a torlua on low A. So that is the next bar. So fairly straightforward. So I'll play it for you. So I'll play it one more time. Let's play it with me. One more time. Then the next bar is a cut note C with a G grace note on it, followed by an E, G grace note up to F, and then a C doubling with a B, and then finishing off the bar with a low A and a low G grace note before that. So that's this. You gotta cut that C, right? So I'm gonna play it from the low A in the preceding bar to show you the cut C. So I'll show you that one more time from the low A. So that is that part, or bar rather. So play with me from the low A. Okay, one more time. Okay, and then the next bar, or the next phrase in the fourth line is the same as the first phrase of the part. So the only thing that I will point out is at the very beginning of the second line of the second part is the very first note is written as an F doubling because it's not coming off of a high G. So that's why that's why it looks a little bit different than the half doubling F in the first phrase, because you can't actually play a full-on F doubling coming from a high G. So that's why it's written differently. Okay, so just in case you're wondering that, because I would be wondering that as well. And then that is basically how you play the second part, because we have already played the ending phrase back in the first part, and the ending phrase does not change from part to part. So that is basically the second part. Let's move on to the third part. So the third part is starting with the intro bar on the F, with a G grace note down to the B, with a B with torlua on B, and a G grace note still on B, up to C with a D grace note, and then an E. So that's the first bar, with a up to F with a G grace note, a high A, then an E, a G grace note up to F, and then a high G and high A. So it's pretty straightforward as well. So let's start from the beginning F. Let's play that bar one more time. We'll play it one more time. And then the next bar, we'll start from the last E in the previous bar. We're going to the second bar with starting on the F. So we'll start on the last E in the first bar. Again. So start again from the E in the first bar into the second bar. So let's play those two bars together from the very beginning F. Okay, that's the two starting bars, the first phrase. Going into the next phrase, 2 bars. That starts on a half doubling F because you're coming off of a high A, or it could also be a high G. Going down to an E and then a C with a E grace or a G grace note between. Then a high A, an F, then a G grace note down to E. Then the next bar is a going down to C with a G grace note, a B, and going down to low A with a low G grace note tap. Then a low A with a G grace note up to that with a B, and then doing a grip up to C. So let's start from the high A at the end of the second bar, and we'll go down to the half doubling F. I'll play that first bar for you. And I'll play the next bar. So you might have heard me play 2 G grace notes in there because my chanter cut out there for a second. But you just play 1 G grace note there. So I'll play the that first bar again on the half grace note and half doubling F, and then follow me after that. So follow me now. One more time. Now down to the C in the next bar, from the E in the previous bar. And again from the E. So that is the 2 bars. So let's play them all together from the high A. So that's the first line of the third part, and then the next phrase is the same as the first phrase in the part. So we'll skip that, and then you have the ending phrase of the part. So on to the fourth part, And this is where you get a lot of high top note or top hand note work in the first bar. And the first bar is actually very similar to the third bar. Actually, it pretty much is a replica of the first bar. Now take a closer look at it. So the first bar, the intro bar rather, is the G grace note on E, or on C rather, then onto E, and up to a G grace note on F, high A, with a thumb tap, with an F, then a high G, high A, down to a E doubling, up to an F and high A, down to a half doubling C because we're coming from a high A, down to a B, and a low A with a low G grace note tap after that. So trying to say that 10 times fast, eh? So I'll play the first two bars for you, and then I'll play the first bar, and we'll start working on it. I just want to point out that in the beginning of the second bar there, it's actually written incorrectly from the high A down to the E doubling. You don't need that first grace note in there because you can't play the first grace note from the high A, so it should only be 3 dots there, not 4 dots. So just make a note of that. Do not worry about that. If you're looking at it going, how can I play that? You can't. You can't play it. Not from a high A. So I'll play the first part for you, or the first bar rather, and then you'll play along with me. So just listen. Okay, play with me from the very beginning C. Again. Then on to the next bar from the high A so that we get that first E right. So I'll play that one more time. Now play with me. So let's go from the beginning of that phrase from the intro C. So that is the first first phrase of the fourth part. Then we'll go on to the next phrase of that part. That's basically again it's the same as the first phrase of this part. And then the next bar after that is the other one was the first bar. My apologies. And then half note C. Then down to B with a G grace note, down to, it should be low A, and because that's actually a typo. And then a B grace note after that, a B doubling after that, followed by a G grace note to C, and then an E. So I'll play the first bar there for you. And then the next bar. I'll play that last bar for you again. So we've already played that first bar because it was at the beginning of the first part, or at the beginning of the fourth part. So let's play that, and then we'll go into the next bar. From the low A at the end of the second bar. Let's play that one more time. That's the first line of the fourth part. And then the last line is a little bit different than the first phrase of the part. Because look at the next bar after the first one. It's a little bit different, right? Remember I said that at the beginning of the video? So this is how that phrase sounds. So play the first bar with me. Oh, sorry, we gotta cut that out just a little bit. And then the next bar, play along with me if you can. From the last high A in the from the high A in the previous bar. Try again, same thing. And then, of course, you get your ending phrase as the rest of the parts are. That is the salute to Her Majesty. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.